Welcome, everybody. My name is Rob Webb, founder of Nonprofit Campaigns, and I want to welcome you to our final open live forum of 2020 on nonprofit fundraising and board development. Going to get started here in a moment, but I'm going to give a few minutes for people to join. If you are joining the group and you're here with me live, make a comment. Say aloha, tell me your name, perhaps your nonprofit position that you serve in, and we'll get a chance to greet you properly here. We'll get started in a few minutes, and I've got a few things I want to say to open up and lead the discussion, and I'll talk for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to open it up to all your questions. So if you have joined us and you are live in the group, I can't see anybody in there yet. Let me know. Tell me your name. Tell me what position you serve in the nonprofit fundraising community, and we'll get a chance to give a shout out and get all your questions prepared. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a little view of, there we go. We got India Clay Gardner in the room, and she said aloha. So I know the comments are working. Very good. Aloha to you, India. I'm going to take the camera up and show you a little of the neighborhood here. That is Ma'alaya Harbor in the West Maui Mountains, and if you could see a little bit of the island of Lanai behind me. And of course, this is my beautiful front yard where I get to film most of our live videos. Sometimes we go in the studio, but I really enjoy sitting up here. I'm actually wearing my Christmas Ren Spooner Aloha Milikiliki Maka Ren Spooner that I only get to wear these this time of year. Ray Hamada, Bellflower City Councilman and Bellflower Kiwanis Club member, is here. We're going to talk about Rotary and Kiwanis and Chamber of Commerce and things like that a little bit later in this program. So if you are here, just give me a shout out. India, let us know what you do in the nonprofit community. We thank you for joining. As I said, we'll get started here in a few minutes. I got a few things to say and open up. And then we're going to go to your questions. We've been giving away a free sample board member job description this month. And drop your email into the chat room and that'll remind me to email that out to you when we get off this Facebook Live later today. So let's talk a little bit about me. My name is Rob Webb, founder of Nonprofit Campaigns. I spent 15 years as a YMCA professional, and believe it or not, next year, 2021, will be my 40th year working with nonprofits and working with fundraising. I've spent about 25 years doing consulting with, we founded RM Webb and Associates Nonprofit Consulting in 1995. And I have been blessed by a almost 40 year. This is my 39th year. I have the gray hairs to prove it. Why did I found Nonprofit Campaigns along with our team? My team is my son, Mark Webb, who I think has joined us here in the video today, and Danya Webb. Mark, of course, is in Long Beach, California, my hometown. I'm in Keokea, Maui County. Danya Webb is our chief consultant. I believe she's here with us as well. Danya, if you're there, give us a shout out in the chat box. She is in Idaho, near Boise, Idaho, and is helping nonprofits out there, but she's available to come and work with any of you guys that need help. She's our chief consultant, and a lot of the stuff from our recent online training course that we created comes right out of Danya's playbook. She's really good at this stuff. So we founded Nonprofit Campaigns this year during COVID to provide and offer a cost-effective way for nonprofit professionals to learn the art and science of fundraising and asking for a gift and recruiting board members and involving and engaging your board members in the fundraising process. We exactly 1 month ago today, I'm proud to say, we launched our new online training course. It's called Intro to High Impact Campaigns, a guide to prepare for success. It's a 2-part training. It's available on our website for $199, and you can go purchase it today. Nonprofitcampaigns.com is the website. As I said, it is a 2-part training that part 1 talks about campaign readiness, because we have found that a lot of nonprofits just aren't ready to begin going out and conducting what we call high impact fundraising campaigns. And so part 1 talks about developing that culture of philanthropy, developing your board of directors, as we'll be talking about today. It talks about how to get your organization, back office, and everything ready for this campaign. Part 2 of this training course really is the nuts and bolts of how to go out and structure a campaign where you're recruiting volunteers in your community to go out and tell your story in the community and ask others to join in making a gift. So as I said, that is available on our website, nonprofitcampaigns.com. Go to online training page. It'll tell you all about the course. We've got 50-page guidebooks, part 1 and part 2, total 50 pages, and there's 2 videos that go over those guidebooks, and it's almost 2 hours of video instruction and 50 pages of pretty well easy to follow instructions to come up. We used a sample of a $100,000 annual giving campaign in the model of this that's structured in about 6-8 weeks. Of course, you're going to work all year long preparing for these things. Fundraising is a year-round job. It's just not 6-8 weeks a year, but for the volunteers, it's 6 or 8 weeks of the year. And so, as I said, go visit our website, nonprofitcampaigns.com. And I see a couple of people that put their name in the chat that they're here. The sun is starting to come out. It's a little cloudy day here in Hawaii, so if I start sweating now, I was cold earlier. I'm actually wearing long pants. So another thing that I want to announce, that we did announce, as I said, we launched our first training course 1 month ago today on November 17th. We also announced at that time that we were partnering, creating a new partnership with Duel Incorporated. And how we came about with that, when COVID started in March, I started looking for what was the most effective and what was the most fun way to engage nonprofit volunteers and board members and create a virtual fundraising platform that was actually fun. And I've seen a lot of the virtual fundraising events that have gone on right now that nonprofits are doing during COVID. I got to tell you, a lot of them are just plain boring. Duel is a platform that's been around for quite some while, and it's a gamified solution to, think of the Ice Bucket Challenge. If you remember, ALS did the Ice Bucket Challenge a few years ago and raised $1 billion. That is really what it is, and it's a way to engage your volunteers and make a fun event that has the ability to go viral. I'll tell you a couple of things that are required for a nonprofit to do a successful Duel campaign. You got to have a website. You got to have a social media presence, and for you newbies out there, having that website and a social media presence is really important. But you also have to have some volunteers, or at least a group of people. Great for schools and churches and groups that have even little leagues and things like that have a group of people that they can tap into to get involved in this, and it really has the ability to go viral. I don't even have it on our website yet. This is so new. We're still developing a page for our Duel. Our job here at Nonprofit Campaigns, of course, is to help customize this campaign for you and help you recruit your team captains and volunteers, and of course sponsors, because corporate sponsors is huge with these Duel campaigns. So that's the 2 things that we have for you. There is no upfront cost for a Duel campaign. There is a 16% charge at the end. that goes for the platform, the services of the funds raised. And right now we are meeting with clients to launch first quarter 2021 Duel campaigns. These are campaigns that will run in probably February and March. I like doing campaigns and some of these things early in the year, get it out, and you can focus on other things during the year. And of course, everybody I know, once you take our online training course, Intro to High Impact Campaigns, a guide to prepare for success. As soon as you finish the course, we are scheduling a 1-hour free consultation with you to kind of go over the next steps, because everybody that's taken the course has some questions. So December is Board Development Month, and that is the hashtag of the month. If you're here and listening to me, go ahead and type in hashtag board development. Let me know you're here. Let me know you care. We're wrapping up board development today. We started at the beginning of December by running a poll. And we asked, and this was in Facebook and LinkedIn and different Facebook groups, we ran a poll to ask how engaged your nonprofit board of directors are in the fundraising process. And the answers range, you had three choices. If you took the quiz, you know it, the poll, the answers were yes, 100% of your board members give and are out asking others to give. And of course, that is really the goal. Is to get an engaged volunteer board of directors that are making an annual gift and asking others to join them at their level of giving and telling their story out in the community to potential donors and asking them to join in making a gift. It's best when your volunteers are the ones out asking for the gift versus your staff out doing it. So the answers range from yes, 100% of their board give and ask others to give, or the middle question was, well, we're working on that. We haven't got there yet. And there's a lot of people that were told stories of where they're at in that process. And then the other answer, of course, was no. They expect staff to do all the fundraising, and the board's not engaged, and the board's not involved. And the answers to this unscientific poll were kind of startling to me. 263 people voted in this poll that we conducted on Facebook and LinkedIn, and a total of 12.2% said yes. 12.2% of the responders said yes, their nonprofit board is giving a gift and asking others to give gifts, and opening doors in that community for the nonprofit. 39.1% said we're working on it, and this was astounding to me, almost 50%. 48.7% of the respondents to the poll said no, their board expects the staff to do all the work. And that is, in my opinion, why so many nonprofits are struggling to raise funds, and fundraising is a drudgery. The average length of time for a nonprofit development director in the United States is only 18 months. And it takes 18 months for somebody to really get their arms around a program. And I think one of the leading causes of this turnover in the development industry, and the fact that these development directors don't stay around a long time on the job, is they just don't feel supported by their board of directors. So that is that is one of our big missions here at Nonprofit Campaigns, is to help you get your board excited, recruit a board of directors. So as I said, I'm going to scroll down here and see if I'm missing any other posts. Oh, there we go. Look at all these posts. I haven't been scrolling down to read them. Danya is in the room, and she said aloha from Idaho. As I said, Webb is our chief consultant, and she's been doing this nonprofit fundraising stuff almost as long as I have, and she's got her master's degree in nonprofit fundraising and philanthropy. And Danya recently told me that educational institutions are just not teaching the stuff that we are teaching in our program. Our new online training course, Intro to High Impact Campaigns, So we're just honored to be able to be in that space and be able to help nonprofits at affordable cost. India dropped her email in. Thank you, India. I will be sending you. She is will be sending you the board development, or excuse me, the board job description for volunteer board members. She is the executive director for Heart House Home for Young Adults aging out of foster care. That is a splendid mission. And she is located in Cleveland, Ohio. Ray Hamada dropped his email in there. And India also typed in board development. If anybody else is in there, that is the hashtag of the month. Type it in the chat room so I know you're listening. Type in board development. Because that's what we're going to be talking about today. And the other hashtag, drop it in if you're listening, is going to be relationships. The key to fundraising and board development success is developing relationships. Type that in your chat. The key to fundraising and board development success is relationships. I'm looking for those coming in there. Looking for your posts, looking for you to get engaged. I recently had a client this week that took our training course, and I think we spelled it out pretty well in the training course on the art of asking for the gift. It's really pretty simple, but she sent me an email, and it said, you know, what I'm really looking for is a script so I can go in the first time I meet somebody and ask them for a gift, and I have a script in front of me. And I said, you know what, the first thing you meet a potential donor or a potential board member, you should not be asking for a gift. It is all about relationships. Thank you, India. I see that you typed in relationships in there. Thank you very much. You cannot expect to go to somebody, meet them the first time, and ask them to pull out their check and write a gift to your organization. It just doesn't happen that way. We can't miss the small steps. What you should be doing is when you're meeting with potential board members, ask them questions, ask them their advice, ask them what they're passionate about. Ask them what excites them, what their hobbies are. Ask them if they know anybody that might be passionate about your organization that you can connect with. Ask them their advice. Ask them to come to an event. Ask them to come see your home in Cleveland, so you can actually show them what your mission is doing and visit, see programs that you guys are doing. Jan Christensen just joined up to the group and says Smiles for Veterans program in Arizona, and gave us the board development and relationships hashtag. Thank you very much, Jan. I can't state this enough because I'm in these groups, Nonprofit for Newbies and Nonprofits Unleashed and the nonprofit development community Facebook groups. Thousands of people are in there. And Nonprofit for Newbies is everybody's asking every day, how do I recruit board members? How do I involve these people and get them involved in fundraising? And the secret is relationships. By the way, I want to give a shout out. If you are a new nonprofit and you're not a member of the group, Nonprofits for Newbies, join that Facebook group. Gigi Law is a consultant. She does stuff that we don't do in our space, and she's really the consultant that is the expert in this industry for your first, for helping you develop your 501c3 and get your accounting. I think tomorrow she has a live webinar on nonprofit accounting. She inspires me and really is the place to go for that, for training courses and stuff. And a lot of people are getting inspired and advice. There's like 6,000 people now in her group. So join Nonprofit for Newbies. Check out her programs. It is absolutely amazing. So anyhow, let's talk about the person that sent me the email and was looking for a script. And it's almost like, you know, you took our course and you read everything, but you don't like the answer. You don't see the answer to the question, you know, that you want to the question. So you ask the question again. And what we stated in the course, we'll state it here again. When you meet with people, you need to develop the relationship, ask them their opinions, ask them their advice, ask them to come to join you Ask if you can put them on your mailing list. Ask if you can, if they'll follow your social media pages. But don't ask them for a gift, and don't ask them to jump on your board of directors yet. You're just going to get no, and until you develop that relationship. All right, so let's move on to the next page. People are Mila is in there. I'm starting a nonprofit. Will join. So she said that she is going to join the Nonprofit for Newbies page. And of course, please join our page if you haven't yet. Nonprofit Campaigns Community, inspiring fundraising success. We want you, we still love you, and I know you want to join, and I recommend you join Nonprofits for Newbies. Thank you very much. India just posted that in the chat. But join our group as well. we don't want to lose you. We want to keep you around, because that's where we're going to be announcing a lot of live events. We're going to be doing live events again in January. And of course, we're always available to answer questions and help out nonprofit fundraising. That is our mission, to inspire nonprofit professionals and fundraising professionals all over the world to create exciting fundraising campaigns and get success. Okay, so if you are let's talk about. We talked about if your first time you talk to a new potential donor, don't ask them for money. Ask for advice. Ask for anything else that you can think of. So if you're just getting started and you're trying to recruit nonprofit board members, volunteers, donors, they're all the same basically. Who are some of the people that you can reach out to that you kind of have a relationship with for business reasons? You may not have a relationship personally with them yet, but you got to develop that relationship. But because of business reasons, you can reach out to them, and they'll give you the 15 minutes and a cup of coffee and listen to your story, and you can ask them advice. And these people are your banker. Bank managers, banks love nonprofits to be on the board of nonprofits, and they like their managers to be involved in the community. Obviously, if it's your bank and you got your money in there and you're opening up or have opened up a bank account for your nonprofit organization, you're a customer. That is a great person that you can meet with. And kind of go in cold and ask for a meeting and ask them their advice, ask them questions. Once again, don't ask them for a donation yet. Develop that relationship first, but ask them their advice. And people love to be asked for help. People love to be utilized for their expertise. Your tax preparer or your CPA is another person. Obviously, I believe in developing those local relationships with bankers and tax preparers, and insurance agents as another person. Stockbrokers and wealth managers. These guys are great people to develop relationships with. You're going to, at some point in time, in every nonprofit, you're going to get people that are going to want to donate gifts of stock, gifts of real estate, gifts, other gifts that you're going to need to have a vehicle in place to and when my goal and my advice is, if somebody does give you a gift of stock, you want to immediately transfer that and sell that for the cash value it's worth at the time that the donor gave the gift. If you hold it, obviously you need to talk with your donors. If you plan to hold that and that goes up, it may have negative tax consequences for the donor. If you hold it and the value of the stock goes down, it might have negative tax consequences for the donor. So it's really important to develop relationships with stockbrokers and wealth managers, because those people are the ones that certainly they can be board members on your organization later. They can help steer their clients that are looking for charitable avenues to give to your organization, and they can help you set up that vehicle. So you have an account, and somebody gives you a gift of stock, you can turn around and you don't have to sit and figure out what to do with it. These relationships are huge. You can go in and meet with these people immediately. And hopefully you come out of there and they tell you one or two people that they think might align well with your mission, and you just keep doing the same thing with them. Ask for a meeting, ask for their advice, develop the relationship, invite them to an event, invite them to come see your programs in action, something that they can get them excited. And uh, Later on, you're going to ask them for money. Later on, you're going to ask them to serve on the board. The relationship has to be in place first. People want to do business with people they know and people they trust. Excuse me. In It's funny because in America, we have this thing where it's business first and personal later. I can't remember the exact phrase, right? But we take care of business, keep business and pleasure separated, right? We separate our business from pleasure. Pretty much in everywhere else in the world that I've traveled, they want to get to know you. And go to dinner with you and develop a personal relationship, because if they don't like you, they don't want to do business with you. And it's the same way in nonprofit fundraising. We've got to develop those relationships first. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but repetition is the key. Let's see. I have Ronald Jensen that's in the room that just typed out. Salvavidas de Baja, Mexico. And he is one of our clients. He said he's signing up due to technical difficulties. Mexico has some of the same problems we do here in Hawaii, little third world sometimes when it comes to technology. I was a Mexican liaison officer for the United States Lifeguard Association for many years, and Danya and I have got a lot of experience traveling in Oaxaca, Mexico, and helping develop lifeguard programs down there. So we're happy to have Ronald as a client. And they're doing great things to save lives and people in Mexico, and we're looking forward to getting the United States Lifeguard Association and some of the agencies in California and Hawaii and other places to become involved with their organization. We also have a volunteer fire department in Costa Rica. I'm personally excited about going to visit those guys. Ryan Bombard and Anna and the team down. I don't know if they're in the group here today. We've got some really exciting clients. I love talking with you guys, sharing your stories, and I want to get around here when this COVID thing ends and get out and visit so many of you out there. All right. So let's talk about more ways you can recruit people, develop relationships with people that you can recruit for your board and recruit for your as volunteers and as donors down the road. Everybody that's on the board should be volunteering and donating money, and that's really the goal as we develop donors to move them through the pyramid of giving. If I don't have your email, go ahead and drop your email in the chat, and I can send you a copy of that pyramid of giving, where we've got people entering the pyramid and coming in as direct mail donors and social media donors, and maybe they attended a special event or your online gala or your Duel campaign, which is guaranteed that when we set those up, you're going to recruit a lot of new people in with Duel. And develop them through the pipeline and through the pyramid of giving, so they become repeat donors and major gift donors, and perhaps give to a capital or a special campaign. The best nonprofits in the world are always running some kind of a campaign to involve and get people in there. So when you send me your email, I'm going to go out and send you the free sample nonprofit board job description, the pyramid of giving, and of course the pie chart that we talk about. I can't show them in Facebook Live. We did it in last month's webinar. I can't screen share with Facebook Live, unfortunately, but we'll go ahead, and that pie chart basically says that of all the money that's given in the United States, 70-something% of it comes from individuals. And so many nonprofits are out trying to write grants rather than focus on getting those individual donors. That's exactly what our online training course on our website, nonprofitcampaigns.com, online training, that's exactly what we focus on, is getting you off the revolving hamster wheel of being overly reliant on grant funding and start focusing on individuals in the community. So this goes back to what I told Ray Hamada we would be talking about. One of the best things I suggest, if you are a nonprofit professional, join your local Rotary Club or your local Kiwanis Club or your local Lions Club. and your Chamber of Commerce. This is the best way for the newbies out there and people that are looking to develop relationships in the community to do it, because now you have a captive audience, so to speak, of people that are concerned about the community. These are the people that serve on boards of directors for nonprofits. They want to help their community. These people donate money to the organizations that they care about. And but when you join Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions, Optimus, Seroptimus clubs, there's a ton of them. Here on Maui, we have got so many Rotary and Kiwanis clubs. This is really a great community of giving back. But once you join these groups and the Chamber of Commerce, you can't go in there with an attitude that you want to get something from them. You need to go in there with an attitude and a spirit that you want to give. You want to give to them. You want to give your time. You want to give your time, talent, and treasure, as we say, is the definition of philanthropy. If you join these organizations for maybe not altruistic reasons, but just your goal is to get donors and your goal is to get board members, they're going to see right through you. And if you join for the right reasons and the altruistic reasons, they're going to see you're genuine. They're going to see that you care, and people want to know that you care before they care what you know, or want to give money to you and get involved in your organization. It is as I said, join and do it for the right reasons. Now you've got a cadre of people that you can meet with and regularly and ask questions and start developing those relationships. You can't cut that corner. And these are great organizations to join. I suggest do it right away. Go out and visit every Kiwanis Club, Rotary Club, Lions Club in your community. See which one is the right fit for you. Every club's different. There's breakfast clubs, there's dinner clubs, there's lunch clubs. There are, some of them have different focus, but these are the people that are the leaders of the community that you want to get involved. And I got to tell you, right now, it's average people that are donating to nonprofits. If I have to, so here in Hawaii, Oprah Winfrey owns a home just down the street here a little bit in Keokea, and I can't tell you how many times I've been, hail Kiwanis, by the way. Ray Amata typed in there. He's a past Kiwanis president. And if you're in the Bellflower area, he would love to introduce you around there in Southern California. Anyhow, I can't tell you how many nonprofits I've been at the board meetings, and somebody says, "Well, we just need to go to go ask Oprah to make a gift, and she, and then we'll be fine." Well, and I always ask them, "Does anybody here in this room have a relationship with Oprah?" And they all look at each other and go, "Nope, nobody knows Oprah." But do you know 5 people in this community that we can develop a relationship with and we can tell our story? Absolutely. Every one of them knows people in the community that they can tell their personal story of why they support the organization and ask others to volunteer and ask others to make a gift. And they already have these relationships. So that is why it's so huge to recruit and develop a board of directors and get them involved and have, and that culture needs to be that when they join, they're not just there to ratify minutes and approve financials and go home, that they actually get involved. There was another one, I guess, that I see in these nonprofit groups, and what is it, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, I can't remember, and she's giving somebody that knows this, type her name in the chat room to remind me her name. But she just made a whole lot of money this year, and her tax people are saying she's got to give it away. She's doing it in a way in front of the media in a very public way, and so I'm seeing this in these nonprofit fundraising groups on Facebook, and they're all saying, "How do we get to whatever her name is?" Nobody's typed it in. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, to get some of that money. If you don't have a relationship with her, it's not going to work. Don't worry about it. Focus on the people that you do have relationships with. Those are where you're going to get valuable donations. Those are the people you're going to start into your pyramid of giving and develop them through the program that we talk about in our online training course. In every community, there is what I call the committee of 300. That is, or maybe it's 100 people. Every community has those 100 people that are doing everything in the community. And sure, you want to include those people and reach out to those people. But can you imagine every nonprofit in the community trying to reach out to the same 150 or 100 or 300 people or whatever those people are? It's really tough, and it can be draining on those 300 people that are doing everything in the community. There's a whole lot of other untapped neighbors and friends and business relationships of people that want to get involved, and focus on the people that you do have relationships with. All right, so we're going to open this up in a minute for your questions. We have been going for about 35 minutes with me just being a talking head. And I love to be, what I want to do is interact with nonprofit fundraising professionals. I want to hear your questions and be able to answer your questions the best I can. If I can't answer your question, somebody else in the room might be able to. Or if I can't answer it right now, I'll get the answer and get back to you. So while I'm waiting for people to join, to type their questions into the chat room, I'm going to get a sip of my coffee right now that's going cold. Hopefully you can't hear that. There's construction going on at Kula Hospital just down the road here, and I've got some construction noise, but hopefully that's not bothering you. Type in your questions. Any questions you have on nonprofit fundraising and board development, we'll get a chance to do that. I want to talk a little bit about fundraising galas and special events in 2021. I hear from so many people that are trying to create events, and it concerns me, right? Because I see the day that that we're going to, obviously we want to get back to a new normal, so we can all have fundraising events, we can all have galas and auctions and golf tournaments. Those events, to me, by the way, are friend-raisers. They're not necessarily fundraisers. They may raise funds for your organization, and they're usually a heck of a lot of work for the funds you do raise. But I look at those events as a way to get people into your pyramid of giving, so you can develop that relationship. And I'll tell you, some of the larger nonprofits are really focused on developing those relationships to the point where they will hire major gift officers and these development officers and give them a Rolodex of 50 people, and their job is to develop relationships with those people. And there's a program out there called Moves Management that was real popular for a long time in the fundraising industry, and where we can, where you're really charting how you can get in front of these people. And I mean, these guys are literally trying to schedule time so they can bump into them at the country club and bump into them at the airport and bump into them where, in the circles that they travel. But let's face it, when the average turnover time for a development officer or a development director is 18 months, do you really want those donors out there to have their relationships based on the staff person? No, you want those donors to connect and feel aligned to and responsible to volunteers in your organization, because chances are many of your volunteers and board members are going to be around and see a few executive directors and a few development directors in their time, but they're going to be the ones that are the constant, that are there. One of the things I will say about, I'm waiting for people to type questions in here, and I don't see any questions yet, so I'm just going to keep babbling on here until I have questions to answer. So shut me up, please, and type some questions that you got in there in the chat. Where was I? Oh, board giving. Another thing I hear all the time is, yes, we know that 100% board giving is the goal, and asking them to get others and introduce you to others and help you develop relationships with those other people. It's a lot of them are, a lot in our training course. We talk a lot about asking for the gift, and perhaps somebody will ask me that question, and we can talk about asking for the gift here. But so what these nonprofits are doing is they're setting up minimum levels of giving, and they'll say, okay, everybody on the board needs to give $100 a year, or everybody on the board needs to give $200 or $500 or $1,000 a year. And I don't recommend doing that. Minimum levels of giving tend to be maximums, and if we tell everybody you have to give $200 a year, everybody on the board is going to be given $200 a year, when some of those people may have the capacity to be giving $2,000 a year. Somebody that gives a $100 gift and if to the organization, if they make a pledge at the beginning of the year, and that pledge is now paid monthly, it could be $1,000. And so that's why I truly believe that minimums should not be set for the board, but we should include everybody and ask everybody to give at a meaningful level. One of the things we talk about in our training program is setting up a board giving committee of the board of directors. I'm looking at a question that finally came in here. I'll get back to that in a second. And because your board giving committee should be meeting with each board member individually and asking them for a gift, just like we train that we do for others. And they should be asking for a specific amount. Okay, so India typed into the chat room. She wants to get me off rambling here. Thank you. Says, I am initiating an online bingo game. How do we get people engaged? Very good question. And I am, like I said, I'm not the expert of online virtual giving. I have some expertise in social media and in developing that. But I think if you're going to do an online anything, you need to have, that's really important to have you need to have a list of a few hundred people, or hopefully a few thousand people that you can reach out to on your mailing list, your email list, or your snail mail list. You need to have, it's very similar to our Duel campaign, right? Now, the Duel campaign, I talked about it. I'm sorry I can't show the video. If you go to our group, Nonprofit Campaigns Community, Inspiring Fundraising Success, our Nonprofit Campaigns group in Facebook, I just posted a video the other night from Duel. It's a 1-minute quick video that shows you what it's about. It's very similar. You need to have a good social media presence, and you got to have a good number of people following you for them to get in, to involve them in your online bingo programs, or your virtual campaigns, or your Duel campaigns. I think Duel is actually one of the more fun ones. If we can get, we're talking about all kinds of different themes that you can do. One of my favorite Duel campaigns was St. Jude Hospital in Florida. And they had a cake smash, and what it was is, of course, they're challenging everybody, of course, to make a donation and join the campaign, but to take a fun video of themselves and their kids, or somebody smashing, and there's children smashing cake into their face and things like that. Those are fun ideas, and those are the kind of things we need for a Duel campaign to be successful. So whatever would be your niche. Here in Hawaii, somebody's got to come up with the Shaka challenge. The Shaka is kind of a universal greeting that we do here in Hawaii. I'm actually making a documentary on the history of the Shaka. That's another story. But I'd love to get a nonprofit here in Hawaii doing the Shaka challenge, where we're getting everybody in the community to give money to the organization and show their best Shaka. Great example of a Duel campaign. Some people like to throw I'll just get it up here. Throw your Shaka. Some people, the more local you are, the less you close the hands, right? And you've got your hands out like this, where the tourists are going like this. If you're a nonprofit in Hawaii, contact me. Let's set up that Shaka Duel challenge. So hopefully that answers your question. India says that she's tired of asking the same people. Absolutely. That's why So when you ask those same people, I don't know how many people are on your board of directors, India, or volunteers that you have, focus. And here's something that I believe we should be doing right now during COVID, when we can't get the whole board of directors together in person, but we can get together and meet with as many of them as possible one-on-one. I challenge every one of you in the room that is on a nonprofit and you've got board members or volunteers that you want to recruit to be board members, meet with your inner circle first. Take them to lunch, take them to breakfast, have pupus and wine. Pupus, that's our Hawaiian word for hors d'oeuvres. But get together one-on-one with them where you're not asking them for a gift, you're asking them for advice. And if each one of those can introduce you to one person that they believe that's a friend of theirs, and then you and your volunteer, that same, she's tired of asking those same people for everything, well, ask them for something different. Ask them to introduce you to one person, and now you have just doubled the group of people that are involved in your organization that you're developing a relationship with. That is absolutely true, India. And the same people, you're asking the same people for stuff over and over, and they love you and they want to get involved, but they like also, I think they would love to be able to help open the door and invite new people into the organization so we can share the load. That's really important, and that's like I said, the more you get out in the community, develop those relationships, India, join that Rotary Club, join that Kiwanis Club, join the Chamber of Commerce, and get involved and do it for the right reasons. You're going to have a bigger school of people, a bigger group of people that you are connected with that you can ask, that you can involve in your organization and recruit them to be board members and donors and volunteers. All right, any other questions that are going on? Is any nonprofit in here ready to start a Duel campaign? Type in the chat, let me know. If you have questions about our online training course, as I said, the training course is available for sale for $199 on our website, nonprofitcampaigns.com. You can go to our online training page. There's actually lots of videos on our website. Oh, one more thing before we go, and I'm looking to see if any more questions come in the chat room before we end this today. I'm willing to keep going. Should you have more questions, so type them in there. But I'm asking everybody this month if you could do us a big solid favor. We go to our Facebook page. You can find it from our website. You can find it from our I'm sorry, not Facebook page, but our YouTube page. YouTube requires us to have 100 channel subscribers before we can create a custom YouTube URL for our website. And yes, we want to have a custom YouTube URL for our website. We are at 86 people, something subscribers right now. We need like 15 more subscribers before we can create that custom URL. It is my goal to have us at 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel before the end of the year. Thank you. Please go to nonprofitcampaigns.com. Up at the top, there's all the little social media, and of course we're on LinkedIn and Facebook, but one of those is the little YouTube icon. It'll take you to our channel. Please click on it and subscribe so we can create that custom URL for our YouTube channel. All right, so what do we got here? Ray Hamada typed in, any thoughts, techniques on convincing board members to give at higher levels they have not committed to before? Is the start high, end lower discussion? No. Obviously, okay, so let's talk about that, right? So your board, the goal is, as I said, to involve people, bring them through that pyramid of giving, and their gift increases over time. And I'm getting some bunch of questions in here, so I want to go back to Ray's so I don't forget it here. The secret to, okay, so no donor is ever offended by you asking them for more money than they're prepared to give. And that's why I said in our training, we discuss with when you're doing board giving, you need to set up a committee, meet with each board member individually, with a couple of board members and the executive director or CEO in the room. And before you go in and meet with that person, you're going to review their past giving, and you're going to ask them to give at a higher level. And I believe in making a pledge that can be paid off monthly or quarterly over the year. My battery is running low. That is pretty scary. So we may be ending this thing shortly. And I am too far away from the plug-in device. So hopefully, I thought I had this thing completely charged. Probably time for a new battery. So that is the secret to getting them to up their level of giving, is asking them and saying, hey, I know this is a stretch gift for you. We're asking, I personally am the board chair, and I've stretched my gift from this to this, and we're asking you to stretch your gift from this and give this amount. Ask for a specific amount. Include other volunteers that are giving at that amount. If I'm giving $500 a year, it's hard for me to ask another board member or another person to give $5,000 a year. You want people giving at that level to ask them to join you at their same level of giving. All right. Now, I'm going to hope that my battery hangs out here for a minute. Ronald Jensen said he's going to gladly help share the word. Thank you. Share our YouTube channel with your friends on Facebook. Our Big Brothers, Big Sisters agency have been trying to rethink our event for 2021. Duel may be the solution. Absolutely, I think it is. That is Amanda Otto. Clark Otto. I have Otto friends in Long Beach. There's a bunch of Ottos that are friends of ours. Let's get together, Amanda, and I'll contact you as soon as I plug my computer back in. And virtual bowling or gala event is something that she's considering. I don't know. Are bowling alleys ever going to open again? I sure can't wait for us to be able to get back to the point where we can open up and do fun things again. India says, great info. Thank you. India says, done. She said done. I hope that doesn't mean that I'm done. I think I'm still live, and we're still transmitting here. We've been going for 52 minutes, and now I know the length of time for my battery is about 52 minutes, because that's how long it took me to unplug this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, Amanda. I'm going to follow up with you, and let's have a discussion about Duel. Big Brothers and Big Sisters be a great organization, because you've got people that you've got engaged in your organization that can have fun with this. So we'll talk about that. Yeah, absolutely. I think so many of these new these online galas are just boring, and I'm looking forward to bringing the Duel concept out. If you haven't seen it, go to our Facebook page. Or our Facebook group. There's a video in there that you can watch, tells you all about it. We're going to have something on our website, Nonprofit Campaigns, very soon. If you haven't done so, go to our website, like all our social media, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please check out our online training course. That's how we pay the bills around here. We love offering free advice, but you know what? For $200, we've got a program that teaches people what we used to do as consultants for thousands of dollars. And it was our mission from God, I think, to take that and create a affordable online training program to help inspire nonprofit professionals to create what we call high-impact fundraising campaigns. Go check it out. I want to thank all of you for joining us here on the group. We've been going for about 53 minutes, and once again, my battery is going to die out here. Ray Hamada says, thanks, Rob. Your plan has been our plan. Thanks for reinforcing comments. Absolutely, Ray. And you guys all know that I'm here to talk with you. I love you. You can give me a call. My phone number's on our website, 808-359-8269. If you haven't yet done so, drop your email into a comment in this chat room, in this video, or you can go to our website, nonprofitcampaigns.com, and you can give us, you can sign up there and give give us your contact information. It'll ask you questions like, what's your greatest fundraising challenge, and what's your position. That's so we know how we can help you. We love you, and we want to help nonprofit fundraising professionals. That's our mission. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy Hanukkah, and we look forward to seeing you back here in 2021 at our next Facebook Live event. And have a wonderful day. Aloha from Maui, Hawaii.